Girlfriend said she was bad at lying, hid him for 8 months. Be me. 28. Creative strategist at one of those glass and steel marketing agencies downtown. City nights, soy lattes, minimal sleep. Own a plant that keeps dying, but I keep reviving it. Work, hustle, rise, repeat. Everyone assumes I'm either married, gay, or waiting for a miracle man. If only any of those were easier options. Been single since a year and chain. Jake happened, then unhappened. He ghosted out gently, like a cliché vapor trail. Made a promise to myself. No more detours, no more emotional sublets, no more being cast as supporting character in someone else's romance. The city isn't a rom-com. I'm here to own it. Then Michael swoops in. Walks in late to Susan's creative briefing like he owns the damn building. Not even in our department. The kind of confidence that makes people rearrange their posture. Lean, dressed like he doesn't care, scruff, eyes that look straight through the pitch deck. Everyone watches, I pretend not to. Layla texts, your type, probably dysfunctional. Shrug it off but save his email anyway. Fast forward. Accidentally on purpose bump into Michael in kitchen 1 week later. Banter about oat milk, he demos some weird pour-over device, tells a joke about agency life burnout. Laugh at wrong part of the joke. He raises eyebrow, you're bad at lying, you know. Do a mock gasp, dangerous to accuse a strategist of bad deception. He grins, stays. 3 days later, drinks at that neon bar with the bad poetry readings. First time in months, someone makes me forget to refresh my inbox every 10 minutes. Thing with Michael happens almost without me noticing. Saturday brunches, random deep dive conversations about why people become their jobs, whiskey at his place, stumbling out before sunrise. He texts like a boomer but makes up for it with calls. Asks about my sister, follows up asking about my presentation, remembers my favorite band. Says he doesn't really do labels. Neither do I, but it feels suspiciously like a label. Start getting soft. Hate that about myself. Layla notices, narrows her eyes at lunch. You seeing him more than twice a week, huh? Blush, dodge. Is he single or? Please, I'm not 12, I'd know. She grins, looks unconvinced. I change the subject, ask about her dog. Honestly, did not even check his Instagram before the 3rd date. That's growth, right? Project at work goes nuclear. Nights in conference rooms, coffee IV. Michael texts at 1 am, jokes about sending care packages, meets me near the subway after deadlines. Sneaks in Thai takeout, leaves when I crash, never complains. Becomes habitual, maybe a little too smooth. Tells me about some family drama, why he has to leave city for weekends sometimes. Shrug, sounds real. Why make drama out of nothing? David, guy from my floor. Always in the kitchen pretending he knows football. Asks about Michael. I dodge but David keeps poking. Be careful, he says grinning. Dudes like that, they hide the real shit, not the illegal stuff. Laugh it off. Psychology podcasts blasting in my wired brain. Ignore gut. My gut failed me before. Post-campaign party. Susan, the work mentor, pulls me aside. Unsolicited advice time. Don't let the boys club eat you alive. Nod, make mental note. Never date a coworker. Too late. Michael winks from across the bar. Layla catches the look, raises a silent toast. I ignore the voice in me saying this looks like a pattern. Few months in. Michael gets weird. Schedule shift, sometimes cancels last minute. Says he's overloaded, scheduling conflicts, sick grandma. Sends playlists instead of making plans. I laugh at myself for noticing. What gonna be that girl? Paranoid, insecure. Swipe his phone once for directions, see nothing out of the ordinary, feel dirty about it. Tell myself you're better than this. Layla calls it. You're so bad at lying, it's a miracle you survived in advertising. Meanwhile me, lying to myself about how little I care. I'm good, focused, not high school, I can read people. She laughs and tells me to at least Google him. Roll eyes, say I don't have the patience for amateur sleuthing. The city is full of secrets. You only trip if you go looking for the cracks under your feet. Michael asks if I'm happy. Answers before I do. Says you know, I always just want to be honest. I joke I can spot a liar a mile away. He laughs but I remember that line. Later I hate myself for it. Lunch with Susan, unexpectedly personal. Says her divorce was like waking up from a 20-year nap. Men lie best when they want to protect their own illusions. Nod, file it under advice I'll pretend to use. The slow ghost of suspicion. Michael's Instagram private. His phone always face down. Says he doesn't really use social, too busy for that kind of exhibitionism. Brags about it as if real men are too analog for DMs. Layla mocks him, red flag city. I laugh along, pour another round. Deep down, stomach twinges. Reckon if anyone's lying, it's me, pretending indifference. Random Wednesday, phone buzzes in the morning. Jess slides into my Insta DMs. First reaction, spam. Second reaction, chill. Screenshots Michael's face, my posts, matching timestamps. Reads, girl, not sure how to say this, but she's dating Michael. Has been for years. They have matching blender sets. Nausea like a hard reset. Scroll back, double-check messages. Date ranges line up, her calendar is a twin to mine. Worst part, she is not angry. She's hurt, apologetic, determined to know if I'm aware. None of that TV drama bitchiness. Just two women both blindsided. Solidarity and mortification. Layla answers after maybe half a ring. Tells me to come by. I walk over in a daze. Urban alienation, staring at rerouted buses, coffee shops with happy couples. Feel 1000% more alone than I did yesterday. Sit on Layla's couch, phone clutched. She pours 2 drinks, listens to Jess messages. We rehash every scene, every trust me, every random trip, every playlist. Anger boils up, cools down. Anger at Michael. Anger at myself for feeling fucking embarrassed. Jess and I text for an hour that night. Trade receipts, stories. Never thought I'd empathize with a stranger over spinach, ravioli recipes. She says she doesn't want to fight. I offer her my therapist's number. We laugh. Bitter comforts. Nightmare call with Michael. I ask quietly how many of us are there. He tries to say it wasn't serious. His voice pathetic, familiar. Blames the city, pressures how he felt lost. Tells me he always tried to be honest. For a second, want to scream through the phone. Instead, deadpan, you hit us both so well, even after I told you I was bad at lying. He says sorry doesn't sound real. Hang up. Next morning, city seems extra loud. People in the subway are all Michael's eyes, all secrets. Susan calls in for status, senses edge in my voice. Asks if I'm okay. I say just tired. She gives one of her weirdly sharp hugs in the elevator. Tells me independence isn't immunity, you still bleed when someone cuts your trust. Wanna cry, don't. David corners me at coffee machine. Says he heard some loud phone call, jokes he could be temporary rebound. Roll my eyes but smirk. He says, seriously, you're not crazy for trusting people. Most people are just lazy liars. He's awkward but honest. Appreciate it. Week goes by. Layla sends me memes, invites me to rooftop parties. Delete old photos, block Michael on everything. Jess sends me a selfie with her cat, says she dumped his ass. I send her back a picture of my dying plant, she says it probably needs more sunlight. For once, laugh for real. Work keeps rolling. Clients' emails, late night brainstorms. Some hours I forget he exists. Other hours I grit teeth, mind races. Pace the apartment, count subway train intervals. Solid resolve, ambition stays, identity stays, no man will get to write my ending. But it hurts. God, it hurts. Drunkenly text Layla. Was I stupid or just too tired to see it? She says neither, just a woman in a city full of men who believe they're the main characters. We watch old sitcoms, eat microwaved gnocchi. She promises it gets less sharp. Brunch with Susan. Talk business for 10 minutes, then she leans. The only story that counts is the one you write for yourself. Tells me about when she moved out, started over. Says it sucked, but at least now she isn't stealing chapters from someone else's script. Swears off online dating. I nod, wish it was so easy. Get flowers delivered at work. The card just says sorry. No name but I know. Consider throwing them in the lobby trash. Instead, hand them to the office admin, she grins. Someone somewhere should get something good out of my wreckage. Text from David, sarcastic. Still bad at lying, wanna play poker after work. Send a smirking selfie back. Say only if I don't have to bluff, cards on the table this time. Maybe, maybe not. But at least it's honest. Sunday afternoon, city humming. Sit on my fire escape, legs tucked up, dying plant by my feet. Scroll through old photos, mixed feelings. Delete his number, finally, the tiny digital funeral. Lean my head back, listen to city sounds. Not healed but not hiding. Ambition in one hand, bruised heart in the other. Wonder if maybe I can keep both without apology. The end or just an intermission. Either way, it's mine.